Alright guys, I know everyone is tired of hearing about the coronavirus. However, I did want to put out a piece of content just so that people have kind of a platform in order to put out information or ask questions that doesn't seem like we're getting answers to, maybe in some instances. So over the course of the next couple of days, I'm going to be asking a series of questions, and these questions are going to be coming from random people that I have been asking. Basically, I will be taking polls in order to organize these questions and prioritize them so that they are the most relevant questions for this topic. So here are your first set of questions, and you can answer these questions back in a DM, or you can also answer these questions back in any one of the stories that I put out as well. The first question in these series of videos is going to be, do you feel that some of the information about the coronavirus or the people that are infected is being withheld by the government and or the health officials within the island?
What time were these 3 cases confirmed today?
I think like maybe an hour ago, something like that.
Do you have any background in terms of like, did they attend a social gathering or anything like that?
I do not.
Can you disclose what village this person was from?
No, we would just rather say that.
Now let's get a little bit more into detail on this question. If we take a look at other areas that have been infected on a larger scale in relationship to Guam, we see that in areas like in China, UK, and Italy, they have implemented ways to prevent the spread of the virus. And one of those methodologies consists of letting people know where these infected people are, where they geographically are located, what neighborhoods they're coming from. However, when I was watching some of the press conference content put out by KUAM News, when some of those reporters were asking questions like what villages these infected personnel are coming from, some of these individuals that tested positive, it just kind of seemed like this information was being hidden or they didn't know. And so personally, my input on this particular question would be, well, why withhold this information? Because some of the people that are in that area or some of the other people within that surrounding area, they can actually be a little bit more on higher alert status in terms of symptoms or watching for other people having these symptoms. That way, it's just another preventable measure that we're putting into the pipeline. I know that in China, they do have a couple apps that are up and running where it tells the public essentially where the last infected person that tested positive for it, and it gives them a geographical location, and it tells you to kind of stay away from that area, or if you know anyone that was in that area, you might want to go get tested, or you might want to be a little bit more cognizant in terms of, you know, seeing the symptoms within yourself.
Registered. And you must have an app on your phone into which you input your name, temperature, recent travel, and ID number. The information generates a color code.
In Hangzhou, to go out of the community or to public activities, you need to have a green code. It uses big data to decide whether you've been to affected districts or come into contact with those people.
UK kind of followed the same suit. They're putting out the locations of where individuals that were being tested positive, and they're putting that out on social media platforms and on location apps that tell people where the latest infections are happening and keeps them abreast in terms of staying away from these locations. So yeah, man, that's the first question. Do you feel that some of the information is being withheld and that the public is being left in the dark in certain areas and in certain aspects of this pandemic? For the most part, I think the government is doing the best that they can. However, I do feel in some areas that they can be a little bit more transparent in order to be even more effective than what they are already. The question that actually hits second place is, do you feel that there are more cases of individuals who are infected on the island? If so, how many more individuals than the 8 that are currently identified? And then the last question that I'm going to be posing to you guys and then posting by the end of the week, most likely Friday night or Saturday, is do you feel that the people of Guam are abiding to the guidelines being put out by our government? And if not, what is the message that you want to put out to the people that you feel that are not abiding to these guidelines? I do feel that people are generally abiding to these guidelines. However, there are some outlying people that aren't really doing as good as a job that they can be. While people are not gathering in public places, however, they are having kind of larger family gatherings where I see 20, 25 people maybe barbecuing, having like a fiesta or whatever, 10 or 20 kids jumping around in the trampoline together, all in one small trampoline. I think that we could do a little bit better. That's all I'm saying. Like I said, man, you guys could follow along with these questions and you can send me your answers, whether that be in a DM or on a WhatsApp message if you guys have my number. If you guys don't have my number, I'll post it up right here, and you could send me back your answers to any one of these questions within a WhatsApp message. You don't have to leave your name. It could be 100% anonymous. It doesn't really matter. And the last thing I have for you guys is, what recommendations do you have for me? Given the level of restrictions that are imposed currently right now on the public, what information on social media would you guys like to see on this medium? Hit me up in the comments or on a DM. Until then, I'll see y'all in the official video.